My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. I'm going to break down the UFC Vegas 82 card and give you our bets. But before I do, let me give you $50. All you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/bets, sign up with any one of our partners, make a deposit, and we send you $50 as a thank you. It's affiliate marketing. They're going to pay me, and then I'm going to slice off some of that money, and I'm going to give it right back to you. wewantpicks.com/bets, sign up with any one of our partners using the link, make a deposit, and we send you $50 as a thank you. Let's take a quick look at UFC 295. It was a massive success. Every single bet that I put into this video last week hit except Mackenzie Dern. She sucks. Done with her forever. But it didn't matter. That one loss did not disrupt all of the winnings. I was up units. Jacob was up units. His underdog lock of the week hit. My safety parlay hit. That premium member only safety parlay hits at about a 70% clip. We have one up now for UFC Vegas 82, and if you want to unlock that, just go to wewantpicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. But we weren't the only ones that absolutely destroyed the bookies. WTNB over here hit $50,000. Our premium members as a whole made more than $90,000 in winnings at UFC 295. And this is just what was shared with us. I have no idea how many premium members won and obviously didn't go into the Discord to share these tickets. Point being, premium members have been very, very successful. Premium membership is only $10 a month. Premium members are taking down giant amounts of money every single weekend. And they're doing that with some of the tools, like the line movement tracker. This is going to give you the opening odds, the current odds, the win probability, and the line movement for every single fighter on every single card. You can use this to identify trends, identify spots, scare yourself away from potentially a bad bet, or work your way into a good one. You're also going to get detailed data, metrics, and analytics. Where this matters for betting specifically is Bet Online on Fridays drops those significant strike prop bets, the takedown prop bets, and they do two, both who's going to get more and how many, and they have an over-under line. So you can work your way through the data and say, you know what, Jonathan Pierce averages 6 takedowns per fight. They gave him a 4 takedown line. Joe Anderson Brito has a, whatever, I'm making numbers up, 50% takedown defense. So odds of him getting over 4 are pretty good. I'm going to take that bet. Anyway, we give you the data. We give you the information. We give you the tools. And we give you what we are doing with our money. Every bet I'm about to walk through is what I'm doing with my actual money. If you agree with the bet, great. If you don't, that's great too. You do with your money what you would like. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. You unlock all of our bets, all of our picks, the round line leans, the tools, the data, the information, the insight, everything you could ever want heading into every single fight week, week after week. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member. Let's talk about some of my more confident favorites and some solid underdogs that I think deserve a little bit of a look. Favorite-wise, I do like Ailin Perez. Now, I get it. She's 1-1 in the UFC. She was taken down, submitted. Stephanie Egger beat her pretty good. But she showed us in her last fight that she's got tons of cardio and solid wrestling. And I can trust her in this fight to just shoot 1 million takedowns. Her opponent's going to keep getting up. She's going to keep shooting takedowns. And I think she gets it done. I think minus 175 is a fair price for her. Because, yeah, she's relatively unproven, but this is a fight she should win, especially with that cardio, especially with that wrestling. Peyton Talbot, minus 700. Listen, I have no bets on this guy. I do think he wins. But this price is a little wild for a 6-0 favorite. He's 6-0. He's not 38-0. He's not proven. He's not tested. If you go watch some of his fights on the regional scene, he was taken down. He was losing. And then he managed to pull off the win. So I don't have any bets on him at minus 700. I think that's too far gone, the parlay. If he was a guy that I was like 1,000% sure would win, then yeah, then it is what it is. But I'm not that confident. If you do like Peyton, you can check out the Bet Openly odds there. He's only minus 567 there. Bet Openly is not a sportsbook. They are peer-to-peer betting, person versus person. I put up my money. You like that bet, you take the other side. And because they're not a sportsbook, they don't need you to lose to make money. They just need you to go there and use the app, and they'll take a 1% fee just to process everything and to keep the website up and running. So long story short, they have better odds than an actual sportsbook. You create a bet or you grab the other side of somebody else's, and then you get that going. So minus 567 for Peyton. If you're confident, then that's probably the place to go to get that bet. Michael Morales, very confident in him. I think minus 330 is it's a discount. We have Peyton Talbot, 6-0. Yeah, he's undefeated, but relatively untested. Minus 700. This is a guy we have seen get taken down multiple times. He's fighting a grappler. Michael Morales, national wrestling champion, national Muay Thai champion. We've seen him submit people. We've seen him knock people out. We've seen him go the distance without cardio issues. Only minus 330 against a guy that's been finished multiple times. Makes no sense. Feels like a discount. Brendan Allen, minus 440. Those odds feel appropriate. He should be a 4-1 favorite over Paul Craig. He's going to have the better striking than Paul Craig, the better wrestling than Paul Craig. Paul Craig's going to have the better jiu-jitsu, but Brendan Allen is also a jiu-jitsu black belt. He's not a slouch. He's not a guy that you're just going to easily submit him if you get it to the ground. There's not many holes in Brendan Allen's game. For a while there, he was too much of a grappler, then too much of a striker. Now he's a well-rounded guy. We've seen him put all the tools together. So I think Brendan Allen absolutely wins this fight, and I think that's a fair price for him. Underdog-wise, oddly enough, last week the bets absolutely crushed, but the underdogs that I put on this slide weren't great because it was kind of a favorite-heavy card. This card is somewhat similar, but there's a lot of question marks. Jordan Leavitt, for example, plus 169. That should be a 50-50 fight. It's a battle of the jiu-jitsu nerds. It's a couple of nerds that would rather be butt scooting than throwing punches, fighting each other in an octagon. I think Jordan Leavitt is going to win the fight, genuinely, because he's the better wrestler. And when you have a couple of nerds that want to be on the ground, the better wrestler is going to be the lean. With that being said, his wife is super pregnant, might go into labor any second now, and he's been very clear, I'm leaving. If she goes into labor, I'll walk out of that cage. I don't care. So I don't know what that says about his mind, his headspace, like how hard he's been training. I've got 2 kids, and I'll tell you right now, the couple of weeks leading up to the kids being born were not pleasant in the house. Wasn't easy breezy, sleep all night, train all day. No. So that's my one concern with Jordan Leavitt. He does seem to be the public's popular pick, which is never a good sign. Then we have Luana Pinheiro, plus 195. Listen, she is absolutely the more dangerous fighter in that matchup, without question. Tons of stoppages. She's got aggressive submissions. She's got real power. Like, Luana Pinheiro is insanely dangerous. And being a 2-1 dog against a woman who was just knocked out cold is a bit surprising. So I think she's a decent underdog. Uros Medic, plus 120. This guy was already on the card. His opponent dropped. They gave him a new opponent. And now he's a dog. And I get it. His new opponent is kind of a can crusher. At least seems to be, right? 11-1, I believe, off the top of my head. Good grappling, decent striking, but he gets hit. He gets punched in the face. And Uros Medic punches people in the face. I'm worried about Uros defending the takedowns. Jacob is worried about Uros's chin. I don't think the chin's going to be an issue. The takedown defense might, but I think Uros Medic at plus 120 is not the worst bet in the underdog department. Then Joe Anderson Brito, plus 110. Joe Anderson Brito, I do think he loses this fight. I think he gets taken down, held down, and that's just what Jonathan Pierce does. But Joe Anderson Brito has proven to have takedowns of his own. He's proven to hit like a freight train. He's fast. He's athletic. He's all the things. People are worried about his cardio. I'm not worried about his cardio. I'm worried about his takedown defense. If Joe Anderson Brito, if I could trust him to keep the fight standing, he's the pick 10 out of 10 times. I can't necessarily trust him. He could absolutely have some success. I think he is a solid underdog, but obviously the question is going to be, can he keep this fight on its feet? And the last one is Charles Johnson. Listen, Charles Johnson has 2 different fights in the UFC where he was taken down more than 10 times. 2. But he also got up a whole bunch of times. He gets his hands going. He is a busy guy. He's the better fighter in this matchup, the more skilled fighter. The only reason, I do have a bet on him, and I'll show you in a second. The only reason I'm not all in on Charles Johnson, picking him left and right, screaming from the rooftops he shouldn't be an underdog. The only reason that's not happening is because we don't see a sense of urgency out of him. He could be down rounds, and he's still just doing the same thing. He's not coming out there bombing. He's not changing it up. He's just getting taken down, standing up, jab, 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 taken down. That's the only reason. I'm not 100% on Charles Johnson here, but he's the much better fighter, the more experienced fighter, the more well-rounded fighter, the more accomplished fighter. It's just the wrestling that worries me a little bit. Let's take a look at my actual bets. I don't have a ton of money going this week. This feels like a weird card. And we had such wild success at UFC 295. There's no reason to take all of the profit and just dump it on the next card. So we got to find our spots. We have to be careful. And this is just how I bet. I'm a conservative guy. I'm going to show you Jacob's bets in a second. His are far more specific. Moneyline, I did shoot my shot on Charles Johnson. I was like, listen, plus 135 is actually decent odds. I'll throw a quarter of a unit on that. Not a ton. And it's only a quarter because, again, I don't necessarily trust his sense of urgency. We have seen him in fights where it looks like he's losing and he changes nothing. His corner should be, you are losing this fight. Move forward. Throw bombs. Change something. You can't just keep waiting. That's the only reason it's a quarter of a unit. Other than that, I mentioned he's the better fighter. He's the more well-rounded guy. He has more experience. He should win this fight, but the wrestling's the problem. Then the one and only prop bet I have is Luana Pinheiro wins inside the distance, decision, no action. I mentioned she's the far more dangerous fighter in this matchup. Her opponent just got knocked out cold. Now she's cutting 10 pounds. And Luana Pinheiro is taking women's heads off. I do think Luana potentially loses this fight, gets taken down, gets pushed around a little bit, is stuck sort of trying to make something happen and can't. Fine. If that happens, I get a full refund on this bet. That's what this bet says. Wins inside the distance, meaning submission, knockout, I get paid. If it goes to a decision, no action. Full refund. The odds are plus 120 instead of the plus 195 money line, but that's because there's some safety built in. She's supposed to lose a decision. That's what it says is going to happen. But they'll still give me plus money if she manages to knock out Amanda Ribas, and they'll give me all my money back if she loses the decision, which again is what is supposed to happen. Then I have 3 parlays. One is a round prop parlay. I did the over 2.5 on Leave It Hooper, the over 2.5 on Johnson Estevam. I slapped those together for plus 141. The reality is I don't think they're two wild jiu-jitsu nerds. I don't think one's going to out-nerd the other. I think it's going to be a sloppy back and forth. I don't see a submission or a finish in that fight. And Johnson Estevam, same thing. Johnson doesn't really have knockout power. And if he does get wet blanketed to death, he's just going to be taken down, stand up, taken down, stand up, and it'll be that for 15 full minutes. Then I have Uros Medic and Aylin Perez. I called this the not-so-confident favorites parlay. This was Uros Medic with his original opponent, Johnny Parsons. This is not Uros Medic with his current matchup. The bet's already up there. You've seen it all week. So I still have that parlay. The odds are adjusted. The parlay is adjusted, so it's here. But basically, it's just become an Aylin Perez money line. And then we have Lucas Alexander and Christian Leroy Duncan, minus 232. The only reason it's 1 unit and not more than that is I don't trust Christian Leroy Duncan that much. I do think he wins, but I think these odds are a bit wide. He showed us in his last fight. He starts to lose, and he's just spinning around, dancing, not a care in the world. Until I see, more cage awareness, if you will, fight awareness, take it a little more serious. Until then, I still think he's going to win this fight. He was the one already on the card, good striker. He's all the things. I would have 2+ units on this if in his last fight he wasn't spinning around in circles while clearly about to lose a decision. But I do think both of those men win. Let's take a look at the safety parlay. This is a premium member only thing. It does hit at a 70% rate. This week it is 2 money lines. Last week I had a money line and a round prop. This week it is 2 money lines, and it's almost even money. It's easy to just, let me grab the 2 biggest favorites. That's not, the 2 biggest favorites are not in this. That's Peyton Talbot, not in it, and Christian Leroy Duncan, not in it. And actually, Lucas Alexander, not in it. Minus 111. I am fairly confident in this. As soon as I broke down this card, I was like, boom, there's my safety parlay. So if you want to unlock this, WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member at the top. It's only $10 to unlock everything. We don't have tiers. We don't hide. Everything that we do is available in one single package of $10 a month. Let's take a look at some of Jacob's bets. Most of Jacob bets are for premium members only, but we do give you a couple every single week. Joe Anderson Brito, first round KO TKO, plus 700. Joe Anderson Brito is his underdog lock of the week this week. Jordan Leavitt, plus 3.5 points. What that means is you're buying points on the judges' scorecard. The way the math works out is if Jordan Leavitt, I keep saying Leavitt, but Jordan Leavitt, if he wins one single round on the scorecard, this is a 29-28 loss for Jordan. We get paid. We hit. If he wins outright, obviously we get paid. The only way we lose this bet is if Jordan gets finished or gets shut down 30-27. If he wins one round at all the judges' scorecards, this bet hits. Split decision hits. Then we have Peyton Talbot, first round KO, TKO. Again, these are Jacob's bets, plus 220 for that. That's honestly not terrible odds. The guy's going to go from minus 700 to plus 220 to do what is probably going to happen. He's a very good striker. He's fighting a guy that can be a bit chinny. First round, he should be able to get it done. If you want to unlock all of Jacob's bets, including the ones that he hasn't placed yet because the props haven't dropped, WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. It is only $10 a month. And then let's talk about Bet Openly. I mentioned earlier, it is peer-to-peer betting, person to person. Jacob has an anti-lock of the week bet up, which means he went out, he put his own money on Joe Anderson Brito. And now you can go there and take the other side of the bet, which means you would be betting Jonathan Pierce. If you win, you take Jacob's actual money from his pocket and you put it into yours. If you lose, well, he takes your money and that sucks for you. But this is far better than a sports book for two reasons. One, nothing better than taking somebody's actual money and rubbing it in their face. And two, you're going to get better odds across the board. They're not a sports book. Sports books make their money by you losing, right? If you won every single bet, if everybody won all their bets, if everybody was up units every single week, then the casinos will go out of business. That just doesn't, that model doesn't work. So they need you to lose. They set trap lines and they want you to lose your money so that they can keep it. Bet openly. They don't care, win, lose. None of that matters to them. It's me versus you. They take 1% and that's the money that they use to run the business and do all that stuff. So check that out. I also have an anti-safety parlay, which means I threw up the safety parlay. And if you bet the other side of it, you just need the safety parlay to break. This week, it's two fighters. If one fighter loses, you get paid. If they both lose, you also get paid. But you don't need them both to lose. You just need one to lose. The links to all that is in the Discord. Our Discord is 100% free. There are premium features in there, but the actual Discord is 100% free. Let me send you the $50. It's affiliate marketing. I'm going to make money. And then I'm going to take some of that money, and I'm going to give it right back to you. Because if I'm making money, you're making money. We are all in this together. WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up, make a deposit, and we will send you $50 as a thank you.